everyone, I'm Chris O'Neill from Sew the Distance. Welcome back to Christmas in July. This is day 18. And yesterday I showed how to make this quilt. Hopefully you stayed to the end so you got to see the patriotic one too. And I said that I was going to show you some other things that you can do with this block. Now I will be showing you how to make something like this out of those same blocks. But first I want to talk to you a little bit about the basic block that we did yesterday. And there's so much you can do with this. I made a table runner for a donation out of the leftover blocks for the patriotic quilt, the one I just showed, and that one really came to life when I quilted it. Quilted it in red and blue thread, and it popped. So you can take something super simple like that and make something extraordinary. And if you do that, you can do a table runner out of 10 of these blocks. You can see the layout here. That's exactly what I did with the patriotic one. You can also just use 2 colors of fabric. Or 2 fabrics, I guess. So you can see this one is just green and white. For the green, you would need 2 yards of that green and 1 yard of that white. Here it is in red, and you can see it is very striking. You could do a whole quilt like that too, and you could really have some fun with the colors and theme prints and do all kinds of stuff. But one really cool thing you can do is cut this up and slice and dice it. Now I'm gonna give you a disclaimer. Warning, 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 and if you know that joke, you've been watching me a while. If not, it's just a warning. This is a tricky technique, I guess, is what you would call it, to do, because you're working on the bias. So I want you to really pay attention to that. If you're new to quilting, you might want to, you could try this. I never want to discourage anybody from trying it, but if you're having struggles with it, it's not you. This is a tricky block to get to go together correctly. There are also things to be aware of and cautious about. And you can see here, I have a ton of different samples and all kinds of stuff to show you because of that. And I have notes to myself too. Now there are 2 different ways to make this block. You can take your base block, your bar block, and you can just slice it in half on the diagonal. You do want to make sure you're consistent with how you do it, which way you slice, which I have a cheat sheet here somewhere of the way I like to do it so I can keep all my blocks the same. Correct way. It's going this way, and I was going to do it the other way. All right, so I'm going to flip this over, and you just line it up, and I like to use the line on my ruler, match those points, and then slice it in half. And you do that to all of them, and then you can put your blocks together. Now you want to be really careful because you want to make sure, even audition it to make sure it's coming out the way you want, like this, and make sure it's right. I have blocks that I did wrong that I'll show you in a minute, and that'll make more sense. And you can do it this way, and that will work. You have to remember this is on the bias, so it's super duper stretchy. It's going to give a lot of give. See what I did there? And it's going to make things out of square. Be aware of that. That's what makes this whole system a little tough. And I have probably 100 at least tutorials, and one of the reasons I've never done this particular tutorial, because they're all over the place, you can do them with jelly rolls, all kinds of stuff, is because of this. I don't find it to be very user-friendly, and I find that sometimes people make it look easier than it is. And I don't like doing that because I want to give you success. That's all, it's all about success. And I'm not comfortable with that. So I try to avoid anything that's going to give you trouble. But because I showed the other one, I felt like it's my due diligence to show you this one. Hope that makes sense. All right, now back, that's my lecture. Okay. So now what I like to do is 2 at a time. I think you get, it becomes a little bit more stable with everything. To do that, you're going to take 2 of these blocks, one in the opposite colorways, and on one of them you want to make sure your seams are pressed towards the middle and the other one is pressed out. And that's going to allow this all to nest together. So you're going to put right sides together, and you're going to just make sure they're all lined up, and you can feel it. It will lay nice and flat and wonderful. Next, you're going to draw a line down the middle. I like to do it this way. I like having the 2 layers because it keeps me on track in my brain, and it's just a little hint with this. And I have my little cheat sheet. Look, it says the correct way because if you do it the other way, you'll get a different block. So you just need to be consistent. And by the way, there's tons of variations of this. So, you know, look around. There's tons of different ways to do it. So if we take our ruler and line that same diagonal up and just draw a line, move it over 1/4 of an inch. I like to draw another line, and I do like to draw my lines. I have that tape that you can use, but I don't like to use it very much. I can never, it doesn't work in my brain. So this works in my brain. You do what works for you though, and then go over another 1/4 inch. So you can see this is my center line. I went over 1/4 inch on each side. This one is our cut line. These are the ones we're gonna sew on. And I have one made, I believe. I do, right here. It's hard to see the lines because this is a disappearing ink pen. So you can't see the lines, but let me point them out to you so you can see here and here. These are the lines I sewed. This is the middle. After you have those sewn, you're going to set your seams. You know how I feel about that. Just give them a good press. And then before I cut, I like to peek and make sure they're going the right direction. And they are. So here is the ones that are the wrong way. And you can see how they're different? And even if I switch these around, it's going to be the opposite. So you want to be consistent with this unless that's the look you want. Just be aware. So now I know these are correct and what I want. Set that seam again because I think it got boogered up. And now we're going to slice, and we're just going to cut on that cut line, the one between the two seams that I sewed. So now you have two, and they look like this. Aren't they great? And we're going to gently press this over. We got some bias edges, very stretchy. This is a great lesson in grains of fabric. If you want to try to learn about the grain of fabric, make one of these because this will teach you so much about how stretchy that bias is and how straight grain works and all of that. Give that a good press. And you can even see here, it's still, even though I sewed pretty well, my points are on, but things are a little skewed and wonky, and that's what happens with this block. So you have to be really careful. And if I do the other one, same thing, I do the other way the same way. All right, I'm gonna set these aside. I have a few samples to show you. There are so many layouts for this, but they are so much fun. If you can get them to line up, and you're golden. Starch can help, but you can see here, if I do something like this, to get the full effect, I need to make sure these points line up and these points line up. Everything lines up well. So it's not a block that you can simply square up because of that and because of that stretch. So what I like to do is sew these together first and ease in any of the stretchiness. But I feel like I'm lecturing you here. This is a fun block. You just have to be really cautious about it. And you can see you could do something like this. You can do something like this and have a totally different look. And it all came from that original bar block, which I thought I had one laying around. I do. This original bar block. So it's amazing what you can do with this. You can also do something like this. You can do something like this. And you can just do all kinds of different layouts with this block and have a really cool effect. You can change the colors. You can just alternate. You can just have a great time. You could put sashing between them. That would help with the wonkiness too. You could do all kinds of things. Let me show you a table topper I made out of this process. And I'm going to show you, it's not perfect points. And it's a little wonky, so I need to square it up. But it is stretchy and tough, but it's still pretty. And I might put some borders on it or something like that and really make a beautiful piece. And once the quilting is on this, I know it will just come alive. But you can see even my points in the center aren't great, but I did the best I could with this because it is so stretchy. And it's still, from far away, you can't really tell. Anyway, I wanted to show you this because I think this is a really fun way to play with this block, and it's also a fun way to learn. So the point of this entire video It's not only to show you some cool things that you can do with this wonderful block, super simple block, but it's also to encourage you to try things like this and to learn and be open to learning about how bias works, how straight grain works, how things can come together, how you can cut things up and put things together. And really, in all reality, to play with this particular block, it's very little fabric. If you wanted to just make 2 of the bar blocks and then go to town playing, it's not wasteful because you're actually learning, and that's what's really important. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you take some time to sew, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.